Imagine a room where 5 people from 5 different countries, each speaking a different language, carrying a distinct culture, are handed one impossible task. Build a bridge, not of steel or stone, but of trust and understanding in just 72 hours. This wasn't a physical bridge. It was a project to create a community center that would serve their entire multicultural neighborhood. At first, chaos reigned. Words collided like waves, and ideas bounced off walls like errant sparks. Lena from Brazil saw the project as a vibrant, colorful space, full of music and dance. Ahmed from Egypt envisioned a place of quiet reflection and learning. May from China wanted efficiency and harmony in design, while Raj from India pushed for a space that embraced technology and innovation. Sarah from the US aimed for sustainability and green energy. The obstacles were clear. Language barriers that twisted meanings, cultural misunderstandings that bred frustration, and clashing visions that threatened to derail their goal. But this team didn't give up. Instead of forcing one vision to dominate, they created a visual dialogue, sketches, gestures, and shared experiences. They used simple drawings to translate complex ideas, transforming confusion into clarity. They set daily mini-goals, breaking down the mammoth project into manageable steps, celebrating each small victory with a mix of their native songs and laughter. When tensions rose, they paused to share stories from their childhoods, discovering surprising common ground, like how Ahmed and Raj both grew up near rivers that were central to their communities, or how Lena and Sarah loved gardening as a way to connect with nature. They learned to listen, not just with their ears, but with their hearts, catching the unspoken worries and hopes behind each suggestion. This emotional tuning was their secret weapon. Instead of pushing back, they asked open questions. What does this mean to you? How would this make your family feel? This created empathy bridges that no blueprint could match. By the end of the 72 hours, the community center was more than a building. It was a mosaic of their cultures, values, and dreams. The walls bore murals painted by all, combining symbols from each heritage. The garden outside grew plants from every continent, tended by volunteers from the neighborhood. What started as 5 individuals divided by differences became a united force, building something that none could have achieved alone. Here's the takeaway for you. When you face differences, whether in your team, family, or community, don't rush to find a single answer. Instead, draw, speak, and share stories. Break big challenges into small, achievable steps. Most importantly, listen deeply to understand the feelings beneath the words. Empathy isn't just kindness. It's a powerful tool to transform conflict into collaboration. So next time you hit a wall with someone who seems worlds apart, remember this team's journey. Bridge those gaps not with force, but with curiosity and respect. Because true connection isn't about erasing differences, it's about weaving them into a stronger, richer tapestry that lifts everyone. And that's how extraordinary things happen, one conversation at a time. The story of this team didn't end when the community center was completed. In fact, it was only the beginning. The bonds forged in those intense 72 hours became the foundation for ongoing collaboration and friendship. They realized that the bridge they built was not just a metaphor for their project, but a living testament to what people from different walks of life can achieve when they come together with open minds and open hearts. Lena, Ahmed, May, Raj, and Sarah continued to work together to develop programs for the community center that reflected the diverse needs and interests of their neighbors. Lena organized weekly music and dance nights that brought joy and cultural pride to the space. Ahmed started a series of educational workshops and quiet meditation sessions, offering moments of peace and learning for all ages. May implemented efficient scheduling and community feedback systems to ensure that the center operated smoothly and met the needs of everyone. Raj introduced technology hubs where young people could learn coding, robotics, and digital arts, unlocking new opportunities. Sarah championed initiatives that promoted sustainability, such as community gardens, recycling programs, and solar energy installations. Through their continued efforts, the community center became a hub of activity and connection. It was a place where children learned about the world beyond their neighborhoods through stories, art, and technology. Elders shared traditions and wisdom, ensuring that cultural legacies were honored and passed down. Families discovered common ground in shared celebrations and collaborative projects. The center was alive with the spirit of unity in diversity. The challenges did not disappear overnight. There were still disagreements and moments of misunderstanding, but the team had learned how to navigate those moments with patience and empathy. They practiced active listening, often repeating what they heard to confirm understanding. They welcomed feedback and criticism as opportunities to grow, not threats. They maintained a culture of respect where every voice mattered and every perspective was valued. Their story inspired others in the neighborhood and beyond. Local schools invited them to share their experiences as a model for multicultural collaboration. Community leaders sought their advice on resolving conflicts and building inclusive programs. Even city officials recognized the community center as a beacon of hope and progress. Reflecting on the experience, the team often spoke about the lessons they had learned, not just about project management or design, but about humanity. They understood that true collaboration requires more than just shared goals. It requires a willingness to be vulnerable, to admit when you don't understand, and to ask questions without judgment. It means recognizing that each person carries a unique story shaped by their culture, history, and experiences. This awareness transformed how they approached challenges both inside and outside the community center. They became advocates for empathy in their workplaces, schools, and families. They encouraged others to slow down, to listen deeply, and to embrace complexity rather than shy away from it. In a world often divided by differences, the community center stood as a symbol of what can happen when people choose connection over conflict. It showed that diversity is not a barrier, but a source of strength, creativity, and resilience. It reminded everyone that building bridges, whether literal or metaphorical, is a process that takes time, effort, and heart. So, when you find yourself facing a seemingly impossible task or struggling to understand someone who seems very different from you, remember this story. Remember the 5 people who, despite language gaps and cultural divides, came together to build something beautiful. Remember how they spoke not just with words, but with drawings, stories, music, and shared laughter. Remember that every conversation is an opportunity to build a bridge, that every small step forward counts. That empathy is not a weakness, but a superpower. And most importantly, remember that the richest, most meaningful connections are those that honor differences and weave them into something new and wonderful, something that none of us could create alone. This is the legacy of the community center and its creators. It is a legacy you can carry with you in your own life. So go ahead, reach out, listen deeply, share your story, and build your own bridges. Because when we do, we make the world a place where extraordinary things happen, one conversation at a time.